Welcome to another episode of Reality Shades with Tamika and Jessica.
Welcome to the show, Dominique, the weight loss coach. Hey, how you doing?
Thank you for joining us.
I'm good. I'm good. So let's start this off really good. All right. So with that being said, it's Dominic.
Dominique.
No
What
no
I said?
Dominique.
Dominique.
Mm-hmm.
I made you real hood, huh? Go ahead.
Nah, what's crazy? This is actually why I go by Coach Dom, because everybody says Dominique.
Yeah.
So it's just real simple.
Dominique.
Okay.
Dominique, yeah.
I like that. I like that version. Who did that? Your mom or your dad?
It's the real. Dominique.
See, that was rude. I'm sorry. You're right. That's not you're the original. Sorry. Dang. But who thought of that? Your mom or your dad?
So my dad, I don't know my dad. That's a whole other topic. But
okay.
The story I was told was that my dad wanted to name me Damien. This is back in the 80s. I'm 32. So this is back in the 80s, like right around the time The Omen came out. My mother didn't want to be named after the devil. So she named me Dominic instead. Exactly. And Dominic means child of God. So
Okay. I love that.
Nice to know. Well, go on and tell us about yourself, where you're from and how did you get started with training?
Okay, so I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, raised in South Bronx, New York, moved around a lot. I joined the Army at 18, and by 19, I was in Iraq. Came back at 21, I was in Iraq again, came back, and then 23, I was in Afghanistan. So at this point, I was just tired. And of course, in the Army, we train people all the time, right?
Yeah.
So it took a while for me to gather the courage to train people virtually, because training people in person is really easy, right?
Yeah.
But doing it virtually is really hard. But just with a lot of reading, a lot of praying, a lot of guidance, I was able to transition from that to what I'm doing now, which is literally being an international coach. I have clients in Germany, Canada, all over.
That's a blessing. So I mean, how did you get started? Like in the Army or?
Yeah, so I started at 8. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen the picture of me before at 160 pounds. Yeah. So when I joined the Army, I thought, I was gonna come out looking like G.I. Joe. That didn't happen. You know what I mean? I came out looking smaller, right?
Yeah.
So I did what most of us do. We either go to the magazines, we go to YouTube, we go to, the person that we think's in shape, right? We ask for their advice. So I did that, and I would get different answers every single time, So I got frustrated, and then I said, let me just go to the source. So I became a trainer myself.
Right.
And I learned nothing. I learned absolutely nothing. So I went back, got my bodybuilder certification, then went for nutrition, and then before you know it, I have 9 certifications now.
Oh, you want to play no games, okay?
Yeah, because I've always had a thirst for knowledge, and I don't like not knowing things.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very competitive, right? And I'm in a competitive market. I mean, the fitness world is very, very competitive. Now, I could have easily just, jumped on a cycle of steroids, got real buff, and you know what I mean, got my jawline a little more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not the route I wanted to take. So because I didn't want to jeopardize my body in order to compete with what y'all see now, I said, what's one thing that people can't compete with? Nobody's going to, not nobody, but very few people are going to do what I did. Very few people are going to literally.
You're absolutely right.
So me being, in my opinion, a very smart person, I use what God gave me to my advantage. And it's worked, and it's going to keep working. Don't try to compete with the world, compete with yourself.
Right. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be fit. Everybody would be muscled up and toned up. I know how hard it is. I can imagine how hard it is.
It's very hard.
Okay. So talk about you working through healing from depression, like your dark moments, because that's something taboo that Black men really don't talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about healing from depression.
I mean, I seen a video and it was like a snippet talking about it.
Do y'all want the short answer or the long answer?
Baby,
It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel comfortable giving us.
we trying to help somebody. So
Okay, so in order to heal from depression, you have to first identify where it's coming from. Okay, depression, like every emotion, starts with thought.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? We can literally think ourselves in and out of a depression. It's not the situation, but it's how you view it, your perception of it. Right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So thoughts control emotions, emotions control feelings, feelings control actions, actions determine your reality. Right? So if you reverse it all the way back, just change the way you think.
Yeah.
And so it took I was in depression for about 2 years because I just didn't want to be in the Army anymore. But at the same time, I have a wife, I have a family. So it's like, do I risk everything to chase after a goal, chase after a dream?
Right.
In the Army or just the military in general, it traps you because, first of all, I didn't know that that healthcare, dental, and eyes are separate. I didn't know that there was. Yeah, in the Army, it's all in one.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when I got close to getting out the first time, it was like, yeah, that you got to pay for that individual. I'm like, hold on,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So that scared me right back in.
Right. Yeah.
And so it just took a lot. It took for me to damn near not want to live anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean that from the bottom. I would literally drive to work crying. Not because the job was hard. Army is really easy, right? And I'd already been through war and all the other stuff. That was easy.
Right.
I would just look, it's like, yo, is this really my life? Is this all it's going to be?
Man, oh man.
Because even as a kid, I never understood the concept of go to college, get a good paying job, get married, retire, and then die. It didn't
Oh
make
my
sense.
gosh. Absolutely.
It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So, and my mother would always say, have a plan B, have a plan B. Because as a kid, all I wanted to do was play basketball. That's it. I'm like, yo, if I have to work for a living, I want to do something that's fun.
Right.
Like, all you teachers are telling me to go to school, like, y'all hate life. Like, y'all
Yeah, they
really did, truth be told. Yeah.
Right? So I'm
Yeah,
like, you want me to go do
grouchy.
what you did and you're unhappy?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
It
Right?
didn't, and it still doesn't.
It still doesn't. It still doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And so, so honestly, I joined the Army because I got hurt going into my senior year. And they told me that I could play basketball in the Army and get paid for it, which is not a lie. It's actually true. You can join an all-Army team, and that's all you do is play basketball, right?
Okay.
But like I said, what happened? I joined, deployed, right? And then life just happened, right? So let's go back a little bit, because how I got started on this journey of training was I was talking to a soldier of mine, and he had a business, all this type of stuff, but life happened. He lost it all. He ended up joining the Army to restart. Actually, he's out the Army now, doing his business again. Nevertheless, I told him what my goals were. He was like, yo, bro, you can do it, right? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, you can do it. Like, you want to play ball? I was like 23, 24 at the time. He's like, yo, you can really do it. And it was different between, your friends saying it, or your parents, or your son. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it resonated with you.
Yeah, I believed him. Because my mother would say, yeah, son, you can do it, but just have a plan B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she would
Yeah.
encourage me, but then plant that seed of doubt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He had no doubt in his mind that I could do it. And so I actually went after it. I started training, but at this point, the love wasn't there for it anymore. And I was at this point, I was so in love with training that I just stuck with that, right? But that is literally the catalyst that led me to it. But like with any dream, it never works out the way you think it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so this is what led to the depression, because I knew I could do it, but I was scared of failing.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yes.
And this is the number one reason that people settle. This is the number one reason that people don't want to go out of their dreams, because once you know you can do something, you're held accountable. This is
Right.
literally the definition of ignorance is bliss. Because if you don't believe you can do it, there's no pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But now
Yeah.
once you do it, it's stuck with you for life. This is why people like weight loss, people who want to lose weight, everybody knows they can lose weight
Yeah.
because we see it all the time.
All
So
the time.
when you can't do it yourself, it drives you crazy.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Yeah.
But if you join the body positivity movement and the healthy at every size, not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, of course.
If you develop this mindset and accept this, that, oh, I'm fine the way I am, there's no more pressure.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And pressure will either make you or break you. It will. It
Yeah.
really will. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, but to fast forward,
That
how
was
did I
good.
get out of depression? I stopped caring. I really stopped caring. And I just surrounded myself with nothing but entrepreneurs and different. I mean, everybody who is from the guy who made Cheetos, right? This guy was a janitor. Excuse me. And if you like, go fact check me on this. The guy who made Hot Cheetos, he was a janitor that worked at Lay's. And long story short, his wife came with the recipe. He was so ignorant that he actually emailed or called the district manager in California and set up an interview. The guy was so shocked by his bravery, he took it. Long story short, he was a billionaire now, right?
Wow.
Prince, for example, was a janitor. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I would just, instead of reading about people's success, I would read about how hard it was for them to do it. You know, we all know the Tyler Perry story, slept in his
Yeah.
car. We know the Steve Harvey story, slept in his car for 3 years. The Oprah story, like, I just kept going. You know, my favorite rapper is Jay-Z. Listening to him say that he got told he'd know like 8 different labels. You know, rest in peace to DMX.
Yeah.
It took DMX 8 years to get a record deal.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, we do.
And so I keep listening to these stories instead of doing what a lot of out of shape people do, just look at out in shape people, and it depresses you. Look at the people who are struggling and made it, not just the people who got surgery, got the
Right.
booty or got like.
Uh-huh.
Don't look at them. They
Yeah.
cheated. Don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
They
You
cheated.
know what I mean? They did.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
did.
yeah.
And a lot of them come back to. No, that's one other topic. But anyway, yeah, you just. Oh man, it's. To answer your question again, to answer the second part of your question, as far as Black men, and it's not just Black men, it's men in general.
Men in general, yes.
A man is not a man without a purpose.
Yeah.
And if a man does not have his purpose, a woman is in trouble.
Man.
Because a man's purpose means more to him than a woman.
Mm.
It always will. I'm not sure of you guys' religious background, but I'm a Christian, right? So I have a very Christian mentality. Same? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So that's awesome. So we can talk now.
Right.
We can talk now. If you go to Genesis, what was the first command that God gave Adam? The first command that God gave Adam was to tend to the garden.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Okay. I say his name.
God looked at the garden and said
Uh-huh.
that it needed work. So he created man. So
Okay.
man and woman could have dominion over earth.
Right.
The first command that God gave Adam was to work. Then he said, it is not good for man to be alone. He needs a helpmate. And then woman came along.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if a man does not have his work, he will never feel complete, and a woman will be in trouble.
Right. Oh, that makes so much sense.
It do. Yeah.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
We can see that in the Black community, you know.
A lot. It's very prevalent. And that's
Yeah,
what we
it is because, oh man, this can be 5 hours long, man.
I know, right?
No, it really can, because
No, I know it could, yes.
Yeah, it goes so deep because how do I put this delicately? The household will always go as far as the man goes. Okay. And
Absolutely.
that's not to diminish a woman's role, but
Right.
it's just the truth.
It
This
is
why
absolutely the
the
truth.
Black man has been attacked the way it has, because if you take out the head, the rest will fall.
It will fall. And that's what's been going on in our community, because the Black men are being hunted. And the ones that aren't, or the ones that are able to kind of fend for themselves, they still have a knock on them, because it is like a perpetual thing. Like, it is set up for you guys, for all of us, but mainly Black men, to not succeed. And the fact that you are, and you found that niche, is like it's to be commended.
It's to be commended. It's like a needle in a haystack nowadays,
Yeah.
and that's why I really want you on the show, because I seen that, and I'm just like, we need more of that in our community.
Yeah.
Like, to see, you know, and then you being young still, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do this.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I feel like a lot of Black men, not down on them, because I love y'all.
Yeah. What would we do without you guys?
For real. But it's like, I feel like they don't have any drive or something. Like, I don't know what happens, you know, from high school to, you know, you're a dude. So I want to know. I want to pick your brain.
So I'll tell you exactly what happens. How do you know how to drive a car if nobody teaches you? Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know my father at all. My mother raised me. But my mother, you know, of course, back in the 90s, strong Black woman, right?
Yeah.
She raised me to be very, very tough and very, very, very self-sufficient. Now, she didn't teach me this. She showed it to me by her actions. I grew up dirt poor, shelters after shelters my entire life, right?
Yeah.
But my mother never let us never let us have that poor mentality. Now, she gave horrible money habits. But as far as surviving, she always taught us to survive. So the problem with a lot of men now is we don't have any role models.
Yeah.
We have no model to follow. Us as Black people don't have a culture.
We don't.
Our culture is hip hop.
Yeah, that sucks. Oh, that gets on my last nerve. Yeah.
It is. Our culture is literally hip hop. And kudos, we made something out of nothing, but we have to evolve. This is why I love Jay-Z so much, when he says, like, yo, we're past marching, we're past kneeling. What do we do next?
Oh, we are, yes.
You know what I mean? We did that in the 60s. And again, if you look at the 60s and the 70s, who did they kill? They didn't kill Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Yeah.
They killed Malcolm X. They killed
the leaders, the male leaders.
They cooked the male leaders, you know, Fred Hampton. You know what I mean? So what happened was Black women were forced to step up. Yeah. Right? Yep. The issue we have now is Black women ain't about to step down. No.
Yeah.
So now you have us, men and women, Black men and women, competing
against each other.
Yes.
And I hate it.
Yes.
But I think it's, like you said, it stems from way back in the day, but it's also is that as a Black woman speaking, we don't feel like I can trust you with my life. I can trust you enough to take care of me. And so I think that's where that comes in, because we had to take that stand. I was raised to be independent as well. Mom taught me the same thing.
It's kind of like a role reversal where the women are more masculine, not masculine as far as butch or anything like that, but the spirit of masculinity is like really rampant in the Black women community.
It's embedded. My sisters have fallen into this problem with their own relationships because they're so used to being in charge.
Yeah.
My wife has said the same thing to me. Like literally, me and my wife had this conversation all the time. And she says to me, like, "Oh, I'm just supposed to trust you." And it's
that thing serious, man. Boy, it's rooted.
And it's sad, but
it is sad.
But yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
You really are,
And it's kind of like we on this thing of you gotta show me then. And then I feel like it's not fair to y'all to have to show us, but it's just like how do we be
okay, so here's the thing. Let's go and I'm glad I'm talking to women. A man's purpose is within his work, right?
Yeah.
A man's second purpose is to provide. it's hard to provide to a society of women who have been taught since Beyonce, you know, before the single ladies thing, before it was all my women
independent.
throw your hands up at me. When you listen to that, and again, back then it was powerful.
Yeah.
It was powerful, right? Who you calling a bitch? You and 19, right?
Really? Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was powerful back then.
Yeah.
And it's killing us now.
Yeah, it really is. Though.
It is killing us now.
Because what can I, if I can't provide for you, if you got a house, you got a car, you make more money than me.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Why do you need a man?
Because we are the feminine one, and so we do want, the masculine energy around us. I want the love, the hugs, and the, all that kind of stuff.
You want it, but you don't need it. And if a man doesn't feel needed, then he's going to go to the white girl. He's going to go to the Italian girl. He's going to go to the Latino girl. He's going to go to the Asian girl.
Wow.
Because
I just heard that though when he said
no, I have
you want it, but you don't need it. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So being that he'll go to the other nations or the other nationalities, you're saying that they are more.
I'm married to a black woman, by the way. That's my point.
No, I see my girl.
Good. but they maybe. My question is, so they would be more submissive, maybe, or less masculine than the black woman, to where that he can lead them.
They're
or needy.
Basically, not necessarily. So men and women need each other.
Right.
We need each other. But black women in particular, I don't want to speak in absolutes because it's not all black women.
Right.
A lot of black women have this mentality that I don't need a man.
Yes.
And I'm not criticizing it per se, because I get it, because that's a survival mechanism that y'all had to have. And in all honesty, if women didn't develop that mentality, we wouldn't have made it as a culture. Women had to step up.
Yeah,
that's true.
Y'all had to. You know what I mean? However, now the importance is recognizing when to submit to a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because every man isn't worthy of being submitted to, and that's a fact.
Correct.
Amen. Yep.
That is a fact. So with other nationalities, it's kind of a given. Because you look at Asian cultures, you look at Hispanic cultures, that father, the grandpa, runs stuff at 90 still.
Yeah.
Right now,
you know, who runs our culture? Big Mama.
Big Mama.
Yeah, Mama dear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's very few people who have a grandfather. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then if you do got one, he ain't really doing nothing.
Yeah.
He ain't there.
He falling behind, Mama.
Yeah. Right or something.
Exactly. So men, especially black men, aren't being men anymore.
Yeah.
And women are still wearing two hats when they should be wearing one.
Yeah.
Amen. And again, I know we can talk about this like you said forever, but I think that it all started from slavery. Yeah. Like this is the post-traumatic stress syndrome of our people, as far as the man going down and down and down and down, and eventually he wasn't around at all.
Yeah.
And that was starting from slavery. It's like a mental thing that we just carried on from generation to generation, and I feel like that's why we're where we are now.
Yeah, we're programmed. So this is what happens when the worst thing you can do to a human being is to put him in servitude, right? A servitorial role, right? To enslave him. Okay. Now, every time we go too far left in life, we always go too far right. Okay? Perfect example. Nothing against homosexuals, right? The alphabet people.
Yes, this is what I be saying. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I ain't trying to offend nobody, so I'm
right. I feel you.
They were persecuted so much, beat up, ridiculed, killed, even some lynched, right?
Yeah.
Completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've gone so far. That was far right? We're killing the gays.
Yeah.
Now we done went so far right that we have transsexuals, transgenders, he's, hers, him. Like, I don't even know.
I have no idea.
Going to our kids' school. Like, I don't like that, you know.
They have a Disney cartoon that's coming out. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but it's a Disney cartoon. No. It's called Out. It's called Out, where this man is coming out. It's a cartoon letting everybody know that he's coming out as gay to his family, to his mom and dad.
Why is this on?
And it's on Disney. It's a cartoon, and it's kind of like
trying to get our kids.
Yeah, they're trying to our youngsters.
It's all about. So here's, and this is, damn. I don't want to touch too many topics. I don't want to lose people. But people gotta understand that the powers that be. It's not about racism.
It's not. It's so much bigger than that.
It's way more.
It's all about money. It always been.
Yeah.
It always has been. Now, were there people who, and I'm going back to slavery days, were there people who literally just looked at us as three-fifths of a man? Of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
But most people just said, wait. This is free labor. Why would you want to get rid of this?
Right.
Had nothing to do with us and our complexion. It's just free labor.
Yeah.
You know, if they could have enslaved the Indians, they would have. The natives, they would have.
The natives, yeah.
But they died off because of, polio, the Spanish flu, all of this other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so anyway, this brings us to my point about the gay thing. It's profitable now.
Yeah.
That's why it's supported. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go back to, I don't know, what was it, 2016? Right? When Colin Kaepernick started kneeling, it wasn't profitable.
Mm-hmm.
What's the gentleman that died last year? Got his Nick.
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
George Floyd. The whole world's seen it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You watched the man die on national television. Okay. Now the whole world is on board. Now you have Nickelodeon tweeting Black Lives Matter.
Oh my gosh.
Now you have Roger Goodell, whatever the hell his name is, saying Black Lives Matter. I told people, if President Trump at the time would have said Black Lives Matter, I would have voted for him. Because I know he would have done it.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like us as Black individuals, this has always been going on for us.
Yeah.
Always.
You know what's messed up? I hate even saying this. If it wasn't for the pandemic, nothing would have happened. Nothing would have happened. We were all at home. Not doing anything.
Yeah.
So all we had to do was to watch that.
Basically. Yeah.
Right.
What's been going on and all these talent shows and
right.
It was like, oh damn, that's messed up. Another one. Back to what I was doing.
Let me go back.
So we didn't have no kind of like distractions. Gotcha.
You see how God worked though? You see how God worked though?
Yeah, he did.
So awesome, man.
He did.
You see how God worked. The point is going back to the man thing.
Okay, wait a minute. I don't think you answered the question. So when you said about the black men going over to the other races of women, now what's that point? Like, what is
why do they do it?
Why?
Why do they do it? Because we don't want to compete.
So with the other women, they don't.
Yeah. Like I don't. Okay, so for example, me and my best friend had this conversation all the time. The hardest thing in the world to do is to be a black man in America.
Of course,
absolutely.
In the world, honestly, like it's the hardest thing to do. You know. So every day I have to go and prove myself. I have to work twice as hard to get half the pay, right?
Yeah.
I have to talk with a certain vernacular.
You can't be yourself.
Job, right? Don't want to have earrings in. Don't want to have dreads on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to be accepted and provide for my family.
Right.
But then I gotta come home and still have my full armor on. You know?
Yeah. Right.
No, I'm cool. I'm good. Yeah. It gets exhausting. You know?
And really I understand that, and I feel like this. I feel like black men are not as understanding or compassionate when it comes to our struggle as black women.
Yeah.
Like, we'll put up with an abusive guy. I've seen it in my own household. You know, a man would be trash. You know, not just talking about, you got trash women too. But a man would be disrespectful, cheat on his wife, be on his wife, and she'll stay with him because she loves him, because she sees the best in him. But then I hear you speaking on the other hand, saying that I don't want to fight with you, so basically I'm gonna go somewhere else because I ain't got time to be dealing with you and your attitude. That's what I'm hearing coming out your mouth.
No, you're right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. But it goes both ways. Because here's the thing, and I'm breaking guy code by saying this. Women don't know how much power they have.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't.
That's true. That's a true statement. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a common joke that women have control over sex, but men have control over marriage. You know what I mean? Y'all can say no all day, but we can keep you as a side chick or the girlfriend for however long we want to.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
So my point, hey, it goes both ways. My point is that if you as Black women stopped accepting men with gold teeth, stopped accepting the drug dealers, stopped accepting the thugs.
Right.
Men would, I promise you, 90%, about 70% of the stuff that men do is for women.
Right.
When I still got both my ears are pierced. When I did that for women, because it was popular. When I wore jewelry, it was for y'all. When I put a sister in my car, it was for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What if y'all changed the narrative?
A lot of us are changing the narrative.
You can't date me unless your credit score is 750 or above.
Right. And I feel like that's what we're in right now with the women, you know, us now. We are trying to better ourselves and getting help and trying to be more feminine. But it's like, where are the guys now? There are no other guys seeming like have done the work or doing the work like you are, trying to find purpose and getting help and stuff like that. It's like it seems far and few in between because all you see is bull.
Okay, so exposure is very important. And if you even though I grew up very, very poor, I was able to go to all white schools, right? So I went to 9th grade in Georgia, and I saw 9th graders driving Lexus to school, right? And then I went to Atlanta, and I saw weed being sold on a bus at 9th grade. You understand what I'm saying? So perfect example, I live in DC right now. I'm not that far from Leesburg, Virginia. Leesburg, Virginia is one of the richest counties in America. Okay?
Okay.
I went there to go buy a laptop about a month ago. Every house was like a mini mansion. There was no bus stops. There was no potholes.
Of course not. Yeah.
Right? There was no homeless people. It was clean. Okay? Mm-hmm. If you grow up in that society, your next move as a child is to get a house that is the same or bigger than what you grew up in, right?
Yeah.
You grew up in the hood, your first thought, I need to get me an apartment. I need to get me
right.
Yeah.
Our expectations are lower. Like the number one determining factor of your success in America is your area code.
Wow.
Whatever area code that you are born in, that will predict how far you go in life.
That is deep.
But you really think about it, you'll see.
No, yeah.
Product you grow up in 90210. You're probably going to be pretty. You grow up in Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? You grow up in where I'm at right now, Southeast DC. You know, you might have a couple of Wale's, a couple of, you know what I mean, people that get out, but it's very few.
Yeah.
It's very, very few. You know, so my point is that, unless you're exposed, you typically don't outgrow what you see. You don't. And all we've grown up seeing is rappers, entertainers, musicians. That's it. Those are our role models.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember being a kid watching Full House, and I'm like, yo, who lives like that? Who has a house like this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it took for us to see, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm like, okay, of course, yeah. Everybody has that one rich person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I found more in common with Martin because he was in an apartment.
Right. That's where everybody loved Martin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's normal shit right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? but yeah, it's just even watching Seventh Heaven, and they got dogs and multiple cars.
I remember Seventh Heaven. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, watching Charmed, and I'm like, even
Charmed. Yes. But see, look, I grew up before you guys. I'm a little older than you guys, but all that we had were like the Cyndi Laupers and the Madonnas. You remember them? Do you?
I remember Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, okay. Okay, but that was our I know, I'll be thinking you so little, okay?
I'm an old soul. You must forget. You know that.
Okay. But you know, that was our experiences with white culture. And I'm like you, I grew up poor, but I also grew up at a white school. It just so happened, middle school, and yeah, in Houston, it's a suburb that I grew up in. So I resonate with that as well. I mean, pretty much what you're saying is the same thing, but we still didn't talk about the nationalities, or did we? He said that
basically the other ladies from, you know, whatever, they don't argue back. Like, I guess they let a man be a man, I guess. Like, they don't.
I mean, this is just for me.
They're not combative, I guess.
But this is for me so that I can go back to my husband, because he says the same thing. He says
that's a good word, combative. Yeah.
Combative,
they're not combative.
My husband probably would never talk to he'd probably slam dunk a white person or an Asian, but he wouldn't marry them. Yeah, he'll get with them.
So I'm honestly not against
interracial.
I'm not against interracial marriage or dating. The most difficult part about interracial dating, especially when it's between a Black and any other nationality, is that other, whether it's a man married a woman or vice versa, that person's never going to fully understand. Like a white woman will never fully understand me or my plight. Never.
Yeah. That's what I wanted you to get back to. I see we're going in full circle. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They would not be able to resonate with the other. Go ahead.
No, they won't. They won't. The same way that I have a mother. I was raised by women. This is why literally majority of my clients are female.
Yeah.
Because I get along with women really well. It's my personality. I love women.
Yeah, right.
I'm married though. But anyway,
right.
I lost my whole train of thought. So the same way that I resonate with women, I work with them all the time. I can never know what it's like to be in a woman's shoes.
Right.
I can't experience a cycle. I can't experience a baby.
Right.
I can't experience even though we're talking about the plight of Black men, women in a lot of instances have it worse because you're a double minority. Mm-hmm. You're Black and you're a woman.
And
right?
You're a woman. Yeah.
Yep. So
it's hard, I'll tell you that.
It's hard. It's very hard, right? It's very, very hard. But whenever someone says something is hard, I say, what are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can cry, we can march, we can do something about it, right? So nevertheless, what was the question again? I got off topic.
Me too. I just love it.
Women, white women not understand. Yeah, they never will. They never will. But
it's just like what we're saying about just them being, I guess.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing, though. Once a man reaches a certain level, race no longer. It's so I'm having a revelation that's talking about this.
Go ahead, come on.
Once a man in a woman reaches a certain level, race no longer matters.
That's crazy.
Does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Oprah doesn't deal with discrimination.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. LeBron James doesn't deal. So people criticize Lil Wayne all the time, but he really doesn't see it.
He doesn't, does he? He's like really, literally just doesn't see it.
When like you reach a certain level, racism no longer matters to you.
Yeah.
So for Black men, because it's always a Black man gets on and leaves, then it goes to the white girl.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't need her to embrace. He doesn't need her to embrace the struggle because he's not in the struggle no more.
Got you. Like I'm not Black. I'm OJ.
All he wants is someone that he doesn't have to compete.
Makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
So why don't we have these conversations with each other though? That's my whole thing. We don't never actually have a conversation like this with each other, you know, in relationships. I mean, like you saying now you and your wife do, but I feel like a lot of us don't even stick in that long to say, hey, this is what I need from you as being my woman, and as my, you know, man, I need this from you.
I'm gonna tell you why we don't have these conversations, because Black people, if a Black man isn't busy competing with with his woman, he's competing with every other Black man.
Yeah. Wow.
Whose outfit is fresher?
Yes. Oh, I can't stand
Who has the better car? Who has the better? Who has more money? Who has
we are, boy.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're literally crabs in a barrel.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want y'all to go listen to CeeLo Green, The Experience.
Okay. I love CeeLo. Okay.
Listen to The Experience. It is one of the greatest songs ever written.
Okay.
It talks about the nigga mentality.
Yeah.
Okay. And then listen to Beautiful Skin by CeeLo, because it talks about Black women and how y'all compete with each other. Think about it, y'all compete with each other.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh, we know that for a fact. Oh yeah, we live that. We live that right now. Even at 43, I deal with that right now as we speak. So
y'all, so I don't even have to explain this no more. Y'all see it clearly.
Yeah.
Who she thinks she is? Oh, she thinks she cute. Oh, he thinks he thinks he got money. It should be. You know what I'm saying? We're always judging each other.
Always.
Instead of coming together on some unity type thing and just being able to compliment one another.
But look, it's so deep. It's even in the family, within families, not just, you know, just another stranger, but it's within the family as well. As far as women, I'm sure men too, but.
No, it is. And the problem is that it's portrayed in movies and television. Okay. The reason that I'm so aware of all of this, because I've traveled so much, right? So when I was in Korea, I ran into a Filipino lady. She was a lady. But anyway, she was my age at the time. Still is. Anyway, so she told me that Filipinos, her older generation of Filipinos, didn't like Black people because of what they saw in movies. So if you look at the history, because think about it, Hollywood for the longest time has been the rest of the world's view
of us.
Of us.
Yeah.
So first we were servants, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to the 80s, now we're gangsters with thugs. 80s and the 90s, we're gangsters and we're thugs, right?
Yeah.
Even though we all love baby boy, right?
Yeah.
We all love boys in the hood. What message does that send to other people who don't know us?
Yeah,
a lot. Like now, they think we're just twerkers with Megan Stallion and showing our
shape like that. And
everybody is popping it for a pimp. That's what they think.
Yeah, so you have people like us who are well educated that can separate fact from fiction and can listen to those. Because let's be honest, man, we grew up with Luke and the Tulak crew.
You
know what I mean? But we understood, because I understood it. Like I could listen to
separate yourself from it.
It's entertainment. I don't have to live my life through these lyrics, but we live in a generation where people are now listening to these rappers.
And a Bible.
The other day, you got money, cars, clothes, hoes, but they depressed. You know, what's that dude that got killed?
Extinction.
Like so many kids.
Extentacion.
That's him.
He was so depressive. So you got kids that are listening to him and want to commit suicide. It's crazy.
It's it's
programming, yeah.
Radio programming, television programming.
Yes, it is.
My life changed once I cut off everything.
Yeah, you got to.
Wow.
I didn't know about the coronavirus until the NBA shut down.
Wow.
I didn't know. I live. So y'all remember when the Capitol was attacked a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
My best friend called me because he always calls me for relationship problems. Like, yo, Dom, I know I know things are crazy right now with the Capitol being attacked. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, they attacking the Capitol. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Like, Trump supporters. They attacking the Capitol right now. So stop playing. oh shit, they're taking the Capitol right now. I
like
live
that.
20 minutes from the Capitol.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I love the disconnect. That's what I want to do. I love that.
I don't care.
Oh, that is my favorite. I don't care about nothing y'all doing because it's stupid. Look, I get on my phone, I post my messages, and that's it. I barely even spam through my Instagram or anything like that. Like, I can go a whole day without being on social media because I don't live for that.
I love it.
Because I know that it's a distraction.
What do you like? I cannot stand the whoever this is, whatever female did this first. I want to talk to her because I hate it. Whoever the first female that looked in the camera and did this and played with her hair.
Yeah, the video, yeah.
And now that's all, not all, but think
who was the first woman that did it?
I have no idea.
Someone had to be the first. Right? I'm scrolling through story and it's just you just.
And they'll pop out your lips. Yeah.
You know who I think it was? I think it was Kim Kardashian.
It probably was. It probably was. It probably was. Actually, so I'm not gonna lie, I love Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
You do?
I love Kim Kardashian. I love the whole Kardashian family.
Yeah,
why?
Yeah, I did.
I've never watched a single episode of the whatever that show is. I've never watched it. I love them.
Okay, so why do you love them?
One, because Kim used her influence to free a lot of us. That's number one. And two, that they literally, as much as people say they're not self-made, they really are.
No, they are. Yeah.
I mean, you can't really deny that.
You can't deny that. Like they it's sad to say they did what a lot of us should have done.
Mm-hmm.
Little Kim, my wife's telling me to take something too loud. Little Kim.
Hey, wife. Tell her we said hi.
She all on the third floor. Little Kim, Foxy Brown, Nicki, and now Cardi, Megan Thee Stallion have all used sexually explicit lyrics to sell records.
Yeah. In their bodies.
Yeah.
In their bodies. Kim Kardashian used a sex tape and became a billionaire.
Yeah. Well, her and Ray J. Yeah. And it started it all. And I think everybody, like you said, kind of like piggyback off of that, you know, that
you mean
sex.
everyone in her family or
everybody else in this culture that do that kind of, so like you said, like the Megan Thee Stallions them and all that, you know, they kind of like stems from that same thing. Sex sells, you know, I'm gonna talk to those people want to hear it trash. Mm-hmm. We live in a world where nobody wants to hear it really.
The truth.
Yeah, you know, so.
Yeah.
Again, because once you understand who you really are, it's pressure.
Yeah, nobody wants to feel that, and I definitely understand. It's pressure to be me. It's pressure for me to open my mouth and speak truth because, well, normally when I say something to a person, they normally get quiet. I'd be like,
yeah, they look
maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I mean, was I too deep when I said that? Like, hey, like, am I the dumb one? You know,
kind of like we are foreign.
But the Bible says we just like pilgrims passing through. I feel like a pilgrim sometimes when I'm just living here on earth. I feel like I'm not like anybody. You know, and again, I love Megan Thee Stallion, my music here and stuff like that, but I don't let that stuff, you know, get me in.
Hold on. What did you say? You said you're not like anybody?
I feel like I'm not like the generation of like people, of youngsters, you know, like really.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be of this world, but from this world, but not of this world. It's a different.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, God, I feel like God, my message is to try to teach people how not to be of this world. And sometimes like that pressure is really thick.
Mm-hmm. So don't try to teach anybody anything. That's one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. Don't try to teach anybody anything, because number one, Black people are very rebellious.
Yes, man, we are rebellious people. Yes.
And number two, none of us, Black or white, nobody likes to be told what to do.
Yep, you're right.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So you can't teach anybody anything, but you can make them think. And that's what I'm good at, making people think.
Basically, okay.
To make somebody question themselves. Because this is what I did. I read a book, oh my God, where is it? I have so many, I'll find it later. But I read a book, here it is. I read a book, 4 Agreements, okay?
I think I heard that before. What's it called? The 4 Agreements.
Okay.
The 4 Agreements. I read a book called, I read this book. This book
The book Kim I'm sorry, my friend just read that book and she told me about certain and one of them is don't take something personal. Is that the book?
No, it is, yes, but that's not what I'm referring to though, okay? I read this book called The Four Agreements, and I studied under this preacher called well, he's gone now, but Dr. Miles Monroe. I studied under him.
Oh, I love Miles.
I love him too. Yeah.
And this book talks about how every single thing that we do, how we think, how we're taught, is not our own thoughts.
Right. Yeah, that's what Kim said.
Right. And we live in a society based off ideas of dead men and women.
Yes.
America, it's the truth.
No, it is.
I'm listening. Yes.
Yeah, our society is structured off the Constitution.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of dead white people.
Yeah.
250 years ago, plus now, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So we're all taught how to think, right? So until I don't want to get too deep with this. Until you question everything about yourself, you will never truly be yourself.
No, thanks.
I had to do this. I had to say, yo, Dom, do you really like rims? Do you really like Jordans? Do you really like jewelry? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you really like? I just question everything, and you know what I ended up with? Like, yeah, I like Jordans. Like, I like them a lot.
Oh my gosh! Oh goodness,
that's funny, right? I mean, but that's a real question though, because sometimes.
That was it though. That was it. Like, what do y'all? You've been watching me for a while. When have you ever seen me with a pair of jeans on?
Yeah, you all got your look. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is what I wear.
Cottons in your look. Yeah.
I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't. But y'all know, and this again is kind of to kind of segue a little bit. A lot of women won't talk to a guy who's in sweatpants and a t-shirt. He has to have on this, that.
He got that little flashy and all this.
The drip, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the man, so women, Black women, number one, I really hope that you begin to raise your standards.
Yeah.
Because if y'all raise y'all standards, men will raise their standards as well.
Y'all gonna yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm already married, so that's for you.
No, and that's what I'm doing now. Like from dating crazy,
You can't talk to me unless your credit score is 750 or above.
Absolutely.
You can't talk to me unless you own your own car.
Got you.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want a girl, but if I had a girl, you can't come see my daughter if you ain't got straight A's.
I mean,
yeah.
So you have a boy. You have a baby boy, or do you have any kids at all?
Yeah, I got a baby boy. 7 months.
Okay, that's so.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You raise that standard. We have to raise our standards as people.
Personally, yeah.
We have to get away from this hood mentality.
Man, come on. I'm so tired of it. I'm so over it. I can look, this conversation is like getting so good, and I don't want us to just go over time. So maybe you have to come back like a part 2. I think we did. But maybe a part 2 coming back and talk about some more stuff. I don't know.
Would you mind coming back for another episode?
This can be an entire series.
Like for real.
I have so much to say to our people because
come on, me too.
I'm tired.
Oh,
my word. I have more against our people than I do against the government.
Come on.
Yeah,
that's me too.
It's us.
It's us. It's us.
With the stupidity. Worrying about the wrong stuff. I love it. Coming against each other. So before you get out of here, because we might have to have a conversation sidebar and discuss that and probably like serious, like I said, whatever, and just kind of like just talk about it because I'm really serious about that.
And it's no holds barred. Yeah, we can talk about whatever. This is our platform. We can talk about whatever, and that's what we're on.
I'll tell you why Black men cheat.
Oh, go ahead. Oh yeah.
Next time. I'll tell you why they cheat.
Okay, so you want to give them a question at the end, or you want me to go ahead and give it to them?
Go
okay,
ahead.
So before we get out of here, like she said, that's what our show is about. Like what you said, making folks think, encouraging people to do what they love. And one thing, that I admire about you is that your passion for purpose and God. And so, before we get out of here, I want you to encourage our audience, afraid to step out, talk to them.
If you do not discover why you're here, you will never live a fulfilled life.
Man, no.
You need, every man and woman needs a purpose. If you don't have your purpose, then what are you doing?
My gosh, what are you doing?
And if you want to find your purpose, you need to find a problem that you want to solve. Every single problem is a business.
Right.
Every problem. And the genius people, like the Steve Jobs, create problems. We never needed an iPhone.
No, we didn't. No.
We don't need cell phones.
Wow.
But if I make you think you do,
right,
then you'll buy it.
That's right.
There is a problem. Everybody is here to solve a problem and to influence. So you need to look at what area in your life that you want to influence, and you need to look at what problem that you want to solve. And then you get so good at it that people pay you for it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
If you make yourself valuable, people will pay you to be yourself.
Facts, yeah.
I'm literally myself and I get paid to do it.
That's a blessing. Yeah. That's the goal, though.
Stop going to work and putting on a work face.
Come on now.
Stop putting on the voice.
Please, Lord.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Oh,
that was awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to have our sidebar about this other conversation. But, yeah. Thank you.
Y'all are very welcome. Thank you for having me. It was an honor. It really was.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Just let me know. You got to get on my schedule.
Yeah, right. Because he booked the busy girl.
You're so busy. Yes.
That's a blessing, guy.
Yes.
But you have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, y'all too.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
To get out of here, I have to extend the invitation to Christ to any newbie, any OG, anybody who is familiar with God. Repeat after me. Father God, thank you for this day. Forgive us of our sins. Come into our heart. Be our Lord. Write our name in your book that we belong to you. We love you. We thank you. We ask you for wisdom for this life. In Jesus' name I pray. Thank God. Amen. So thank y'all again for joining us. Another episode of Reality Shades. And we'll see you guys next time.